show of hands, how many times Jimmy Kimmel was taken off of social media platforms? Anyone? Oh, yeah, zero. Donald Trump, I think he got censored right around 2021, January 6th. Does that ring a bell? Jimmy Kimmel, he was banned from Twitter, from Facebook, from Instagram, from Pinterest, okay? You thought it was funny then, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel thought, oh, this was a joke that he had. Well, you can still use Spotify, whatever, okay? We're not even going to touch on the fact that Trump had to go to Parler, which is where a lot of the conservatives were, because they just getting kicked off of other social media platforms. So they go to Parler, and then guess what? Apple, Google, the big names, yeah, they got rid of the Parler app in their store. You can still get it, but you had to go to parler.com through my phone anyway, open up a new window, go to parler.com, and then literally download it from there. So they were doing everything they could to shut Donald Trump up. Jimmy Kimmel was on board for that. Like, he was like, yeah, let's go. Let's make sure that the president, because he was still the president. He was not the incoming president was Joe Biden, but Trump was still the president when Jimmy Kimmel was going, yes, censor him, boo him away, make sure he doesn't have a voice. So I don't want to hear about First Amendment shit coming out of that stupid idiot's mouth, that hypocrite, that liar. I'm watching his apology, and I don't know if it's like a soft spot that I have for when men cry, but I was like, okay. He was crying. Does he mean it? Does he mean like, well, I didn't mean for them to get the idea that I was saying that the shooter was of any sort of ideology. Oh, come on, Jimmy. You literally said MAGA over the weekend was doing everything in their power to make sure that Charlie Kirk's shooter wasn't part of or didn't look like they were part of the MAGA gang. That's what you said. That we spent all our time trying to prove that he wasn't MAGA. We really didn't, because it didn't take much time for us to prove he's a leftist. Probably really, on the scale of like progressivism, he's way left. And it was like, okay, well, he has a trans boyfriend, okay? Yeah, leftist, okay. I don't want to hear it. It's just the fact that Jimmy Kimmel did that. But I'll take his non-apology, because it's something. I know he's only doing it really to get his job back, but this is a good time for him to get his job back, because people are actually going to be watching him now. Hey, maybe progressives and Democrats are maybe he's going to be legit and actually important to the Democrats. He is their propaganda arm for the media anyway, so they really should be watching him, don't you think? Support him, because I don't think conservatives are going to be watching him. So no one tried to censor Jimmy. No one tried to throw Jimmy in jail. No one was throwing false accusations at Jimmy. They did this to Trump, and Jimmy Kimmel just sits by, watches it happen, and worst of all, cheers it on. Now, if you're any of those, you sit there, you watch it happen, and you're one of those people that's like, oh, well, First Amendment, free speech, and you're standing up for Kimmel. Where were you before? Where were you when we needed you to sit up and say, no, First Amendment is important. Stop banning these people. Where were you when they were forcing us to get a certain type of medical procedure, but we were banned from going to public places? Where were you then? Oh, you weren't there. That's right. You guys failed us. You failed us. And now you want us to feel sorry for Jimmy Kimmel, who you are essentially making like a martyr? A free speech martyr? Like, that makes me so sick in my stomach. You are trying to create a martyr out of Jimmy Kimmel right after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. They are not the same. Two things, not the same. But the left doesn't know that. Actually, they're trying to make Jimmy Kimmel like their free speech martyr. If we had to show a free speech martyr that wasn't Charlie Kirk, it would be Donald Trump. Because he is the epitome of when you're allowed to have free speech. And when they shut him down, when they quiet him, when they ban him from social media, that means that free speech is in trouble. And we need you free speech soldier, to stand up and say, no, we cannot do this. It's infringing on his rights. I don't like what he says, but I stand up for the right that he has to say it. And we all have the right to give him a certain attitude, which is which is what Jimmy Kimmel got. The advertisers were all upset. They were very upset. And that's basically the reason why his show was pulled. That and just abysmal ratings. They were probably waiting for something to happen so that they could fire him. He cost $15 million a year. Do you think he was worth $15 million a year with like the really crappy ratings? He was third in the late nights. Third. I'm not sure, but I think maybe Colbert got slightly better ratings than Jimmy Kimmel. What we were dealing with here was not censorship. It was the free market. It was advertisers saying, I don't want to touch this. I don't want anything to do with this political football. Why are you dragging me into this? No. Pull my ad, pull his ad. And then what happens from there? If you get enough advertisers pulling their ads or stations pulling their ads, you're going to get kicked off the air. And you're going to deserve it.